Things can go wrong. And in my sister's case, everything went wrong and she lost her life. And there's so many other women who lose their life. And so many women who came forward and said that they had the surgery and they highly regret it because they have so many complications now and because they didn't stay the same. So if you're thinking about having surgery, don't do it. BBLs, fat transfers, all that stuff, it's not worth it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. The details about my sister's surgery are very, very disturbing. But I really think that women should be informed. So I made a video, my mother and I, because she was there. So if you want to see that video, go to my YouTube channel and watch it. It's a video that tells you everything that happens. And I want you to really think about it because it's not something that's worth it at all, especially if you have kids and family that you will leave behind.
Take your protein. Listen to your body and take.
So sadly, it was reported that Big Chris, one of our weight loss surgery content creators on TikTok here, passed away. Now, I know this is really freaking scary for anybody who's considering weight loss surgery or who has had weight loss surgery. And I will be honest with you, I have seen this happen in the last 16 years to young folks in their 20s, in their 30s. It is much more complicated than just not taking the protein. There are a lot of things, right? It has to be a pretty severe nutritional deficiency in order to get you to a place where you're going to be sick. Now, is it possible? Yes. That's why they say take the recommendations seriously. Make sure that you're eating. Make sure that you're getting in your protein. And you're going to do fine. Are there people who have major complications? Yes. Are there people who pass away from weight loss surgery? Again, yes. Always remember that, though, there are people who pass away from severe obesity every single day and from the complications of that. So there are complications with any choice that you make in terms of your health. It's really, really sad to see her post about this and to see the outcome like this. I think it's really heartbreaking in our community, especially when it's somebody young. But what I will say is that please don't take one case and superimpose a bunch of beliefs on it, because we have no idea the actual medical history. We are not her doctor. We do not know what she was taking. The snips of what she was taking, the videos, are not her whole life. So we do not know all her other medical conditions, anything else that could have affected her body as a whole. So take from it what you can, but don't superimpose huge ideas onto these kind of incidences, because there's a lot to the story. So you just gotta be careful. You just gotta be really careful. That's all I'm saying.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, this video is about different content creators sharing their experience of their BBL surgery or liposuction, and they're just showing you different areas, different part of the journey. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to leave me your experience. Let me know if you ever had a BBL or if you're thinking about getting one. And if you know somebody thinking about a BBL, don't hesitate on sharing this video with them. Thank you.
2 years ago, I got a BBL, and this is why I regret it. In high school, I was super confident about how I looked. I was only 115 pounds, but my skinniness did not matter to me. Until people started pointing it out as a flaw, did it really start affecting me. In high school, my best friend's dad used to tell me I looked like a 12-year-old boy because of how skinny I was, and that used to really bother me. When I went to college, I was literally dating this boy who would make fun of how skinny I was, and while he was doing all of that, he was liking pictures of really thick girls on Instagram. In my sophomore year, I was so insecure about my body that I started going to the gym more and working out. And that was great and it helped me out a lot. I gained a lot of weight, but I was still insecure about my body. A few years later, my ex and I went through a really bad breakup, and basically I ended up getting a BBL. Long story short, I paid a lot of money and went through a lot of pain because of how I thought society wanted to see me, and because I felt so insecure based on things that happened to me in my life. I won't lie, I looked great, but honestly, beauty fades, so it's best to find confidence from within. And it's alright if you want a few nips and tucks here and there, but just make sure you're doing it for yourself and no one else.
Why I regret having liposuction. Let's get into it. Okay, so I got liposuction back in, I want to say 2015. I was getting out of a bad relationship, and I felt like I just needed a new attitude, and I had gained a lot of weight in that relationship, like a lot of weight, or so I thought. Nothing compares to now. But anyways, I decided to get liposuction. So I did not go to a board certified plastic surgeon. I went to a doctor who took some classes. But I had a homegirl who had gotten liposuction from him previously, so I saw her results and I trusted. And she had gotten like liposuction and like BBL and stuff, so she looked T. So I was like, I'm gonna get liposuction. This is when these doctors were like starting to like really get into like taking classes and getting certifications in liposuction and just using the machine and stuff. So it wasn't a lot out there about it like that. I never went on Real Self. I never did anything like that. I didn't find out this kind of stuff until way after. So I got the liposuction and I felt happy, but I wasn't told about, like, it was like a, if you want to do the lymphatic massaging, and I didn't understand. I didn't know anything about it, and I was a little broke, so I was just like, I can't afford no massages, like, what are you talking about? So I did not do lymphatic massaging, and I did wear the faja, but probably not nearly as much as I should have. It was pretty lax in you know, me doing it, but I ended up still doing it, and I still got the results that I wanted. Like, my stomach was flat, I was happy, like, you know, all was good. So fast forward a few years later, I lose a lot of weight. My mom passes away, and I'm like the smallest I had ever been. So I was like really happy in this small frame. Like, my boobs went down, my face was slim, like everything was good, but I started having gastro issues, and it was very minimal at first. Like, I would just notice like my poop like would be different, and I'd be like, what's up with that, you know? And if I started gaining some weight, and I noticed like that my stomach was like lumpy, and I'd be like, what the freak, you know? But it wasn't like really noticeable until I had a baby. So when people say don't get your body done if you want kids, like, this is why. I never thought that I was going to have kids. I was not the one that was saying that I wanted kids. I wanted to be the rich auntie who lived in a penthouse somewhere in Miami who had dogs. Like, I was not trying to live the suburban life that I'm living right now, being a wife and having kids. Like, anybody who knows me knows that. But I ended up getting pregnant. Happiest time of my life. Loved being pregnant. And I love my baby who's coming over to my car right now. but baby, my stomach wrecked, like lumpy dumpy stomach now, just because it's cold outside. 55 is cold, baby. You had me in Florida too long. But anyways, so now I have stomach issues, like gastro issues, and I'm not blaming liposuction, but I do feel that no one alerted me and told me what adhesions were, which is scar tissue that forms in your stomach after liposuction that could wrap around intestines and really slow motility in your stomach to cause gastroparesis, or, you know, just to slow down your digestive process. So if you're noticing that you're more constipated, like that you're like struggling more to poop, it's probably because you have adhesions and scar tissue from having liposuction. So that is why I regret having liposuction. Now, if I would have went to a plastic surgeon, and if I was educated, and if I knew about scar tissue and adhesions, I would be looking for a plastic surgeon who knew how to avoid that from happening, and who knew how to treat and, you know, just take care so that, you know, you possibly would not get scar tissue. A lot of people say that regardless, if you have liposuction, you're gonna have scar tissue. If you have gastric bypass surgery, you're gonna have scar tissue. And a lot of times that slows down motility, it slows down your digestive tract, and a lot of people are finding out that they have something that's called EPI, which is exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, and that's pretty much when your pancreas is just slow at releasing digestive enzymes, specifically lipase, which breaks down fats. And it gets wild. It just gets wild. And, you know, if you do a CT scan, a good radiologist will be able to tell you, yeah, we see scar tissue. I have had tons of CT scans because I've had so many issues, and no one could ever tell me. I've had colonoscopies, endoscopies, totally fine. But my gut has been a wreck since having liposuction. I have never had gut issues. Like, I've always had a more sensitive stomach, so I wasn't a drinker in college. I would opt out of that. But ever since that liposuction, like, and as my life has progressed and as my weight has waned, it's like it just gets worse. So if you are looking to get liposuction, please look for a plastic surgeon, board certified plastic surgeon. Talk to them about adhesions. Talk to them about scar tissue. If they know nothing about it, run, because it's a thing. And I believe that there are ways to, you know, avoid that from happening. But if you're going to like one of these like med spas and doing liposuction, more than likely that MD, that doctor, does not know how to avoid scar tissue, which is also called adhesions. So there are people out there who do like massages to like try to break out the scar tissue. They call it like fascia or something like that. Pretty pricey. And it's not a relaxing massage. It's painful. But yeah, I say all that to say that is why I regret that I got liposuction.
I have not gone into a lot of detail on the recovery for my BBL because I've been focusing on my tummy tuck, and I didn't want to get people confused going back and forth, being that I did not have them at the same time. That said, I think that there's something we need to talk about. If you're getting ready to have surgery soon, listen up, because this might save you some heartache. There is a huge emotional element to recovering from plastic surgery that really isn't talked about enough. This roller coaster can be broken up into 3 basic stages. Stage 1, immediately off the table, your butt is going to be very swollen. It's going to look very foreign. You probably are not going to be happy with its shape, its consistency. Starting at about 3 or 4 weeks, a lot of the swelling goes down. Any fat that is going to die has died, and it will begin to settle into place. And you are going to feel like you've lost your whole ass. Then anytime from about 6 weeks to 6 months, you go into what most people call the fluffing period. This is where your fat really does settle and it takes shape. It starts to soften. For some, they say that they get visited from the fluff fairy and overnight they wake up and they have this giant ass back. That was not my experience. Mine was very gradual, and had I not taken progress pictures, I probably wouldn't have even noticed.
Okay, I got a BBL 2 years ago, and I'm gonna tell you 3 reasons why I would not get a BBL. After this video, if you guys want me to do one why you should get a BBL, I'll do that as well. So why you shouldn't get a BBL. And let me rephrase that. I love my BBL. It's super natural. I got it done in Beverly Hills and I really love it. It doesn't look crazy. I've always had thick legs, so it matches my body really good. But these are 3 reasons why I would not get it done if you're considering it. Just to let you know the pros and the cons. So the cons of getting a BBL, one is going to be, it's really hard to find clothes that fits you very good. Like pants could not go up all the way, and yeah, it sounds cute, oh my god, my butt's so big, like the pants hardly fit, but no, it's honestly annoying. Like it's so hard to find pants that fit you really good. They either don't go up all the way, or they go up and then they fit you like super like huge in the back where your waist is at. And it could be like really like uncomfortable when pants are your size and they just don't fit you. Another reason is that like it's really hard to find underwear. Like I have to get like an extra large just because it's so uncomfortable. Like where your legs are at, I think it's because your butt is like, it's bigger, so it just is so uncomfortable. You need like super stretchy underwears because it's really uncomfortable to sleep at night with underwears that don't fit you. So that's like one of the main reasons that I literally hate ever since I got a BBL. Like it's really uncomfortable to find like underwears that fit me perfectly. And then the third reason is going to be that anything you put on, it just looks like very showy. Like you could wear like shorts, and like on a skinny girl it looks cute, little shorts, but if you have a BBL, like it just looks very provocative, like you're showing a lot without even showing a lot. It's just, so you're looking very voluptuous, and it looks big, it looks huge. So you just have to keep that in mind before getting that, is that you're gonna have to find clothes that you feel comfortable in and that fit you really good, because if not, it's gonna look like very showy. And if that's what you're looking for, me, I wanted it very natural, but even with that, it's still hard for me to even find clothes that I just feel comfortable in. So those are my top 3 reasons. I have a couple more. I can go in a second part, and then also I can do also the pros, because I honestly do really love it. But yeah, that's all. Bye.
Surgeries I regret having, part 1. I have had my boobs done twice, BBL, injections, cheek lift, brow lift, and there are a few of the surgeries that I regret. I regret the BBL because the fat transfer did not last. The liposuction was amazing, although it was painful. It was totally worth it. I have abs forever. I'm probably gonna have abs until I'm a grandma, but that I really, really like. Fat transfer did not last. So something they did not tell me is if you lose weight after, the fat will go away. So I lost 15 pounds after surgery, and my hips and butt, all the fat they moved completely went away. To get it back was something else that I'll talk about in part 2. That's my biggest regret out of everything I've done.
I woke up from the BBL, I was screaming like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? Because it hurted so bad. It was the worst pain I ever had in my life, no lie.
Oh, are you serious?
Worst pain I ever experienced.
Like non-stop? Just, or it
come
in waves?
So listen, once you wake up, you have to go get your own prescription. They prescribe you Percocet or hydrocodone. Mind you, you have to go get your own prescription. You got to wait 30 minutes to an hour for them to give you the prescription. So you're sitting there hurting for that long, and this pain is unfucking bearable. So you just sitting there waiting on your medicine. When you get your medicine, it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, once I got my medicine, I was walking around same day, blah blah. But it was, once I got home, it was cool as long as I had that little faja on. As soon as I take that faja off, it's like I swell up, I start hurting. It was just a pain that I don't want to.
long-awaited part 2 for BBL cons. So the other ones were more just like what the uncomfortable things of having a BBL are, and those are like the most uncomfortable things that I have dealt with, and I just wanted to let you guys know. These are other 3 cons that are very important as well. So I'm gonna start off by telling you guys, number 1, it is the most dangerous surgery ever. A lot of people have died. It's very risky. That's why I would suggest getting it done in the States. Getting that done out of the country is a little bit scary. I know it's cheaper, but at least if you're in the States, anything goes wrong, you could sue and anything like that. So I would advise that. So yeah, number 1, it's super dangerous, and you just have to be careful where you go. You have to do your research. You have to make sure you see what you like and everything like that. Number 2, fibrosis. You can get really bad fibrosis, which looks like your skin is all squished together like cottage cheese, and that's if you don't get the surgeries. The massages. So you need to get a bunch of massages after, and it's expensive. The massages are super expensive, but they're super important. So you have to make sure you do that. Some people have to get their drains too, and my doctor, he sews the drains after, so they're not open and they push it out with blood. No, my doctor sews my all my open wounds, and then the stitches get taken out afterwards. So that's that. And also, like, the massages, you need to get massages for a while. Like, you can't just, oh, let me get it for a little bit. No, you need to get them for a long time. Even like a year later, 2 years later, you still need to get them, just because your body's still changing. And then the third reason, I feel like, is the most important one, and it's you have to work out. No, if you're not a workout person and you want to go get a BBL, like, it's not for you. You have to work out. So the fat that they put in your butt is stubborn fat from your body. So if you gain weight, you're gonna gain it all in your butt. I don't know if you've ever seen girls that got a BBL and they're a little bit on the thicker side, but their butt is like humongous. That's because they gained weight and it's all going to their butt. You have to work out. If you don't work out, you're gonna get those results. Super huge butt. Those are not the results I personally want. So I get in the gym and I work out 6 times a week. You have to, though. It's stubborn fat. If you don't work out, you're gonna look crazy. So that's just one thing that people really need to consider, because if you don't work out and you get a BBL thinking like, okay, you're gonna look good for a couple months, but once you start gaining all that weight back, it's gonna go all in your butt. Remember, it's stubborn fat. So that's another thing to consider. If you want to get a BBL, you got to make sure that you put in some effort to work out and eat healthy, because if not, you're just gonna gain weight all in your butt, and you're gonna gain weight all over, and you're gonna look crazy. And then you're gonna go back for a round 2, and then your butt's even gonna be even huger, and then you're not gonna work out again, and then you're gonna go get a third. No, like, you really have to change your lifestyle if you're gonna get one and you want to look good about it. So that's pretty much the top 3. There's a lot of guys in the comments too. I didn't know some of you girly pops want to get a BBL and have your input and everything like that. That's crazy. But you know what? Be my guest. I would love all the girly pop guys to go get a BBL done, since they have so much to say about a woman's body and their choices on what we do. So yeah. Anyways, I have a lot of more comments, so I will post another part for pros. So yeah. Bye.
So I've been getting a lot of DMs from girls asking me who's my doctor, and that they like how my body came out because I didn't look like too much, you know, like natural. I'll make this video to talk to you guys about my BBL experience. So I did my body like almost 3 years ago, and I went to the ER. I did it in Santo Domingo, which is in the capital, with a doctor in a clinic. I forgot the name, but I'm gonna look for it and I'll see it in the comments. So during the pandemic, I remember I gained so much weight because we was just inside, and I was just eating, and I was skinny. And when I gained weight, I only gained weight in my stomach. So I looked like I was 3 months pregnant, a skinny girl with a big ass stomach. So I was like, no, when all of this is over, this stomach is gonna be over too. So I started to do my research, and I didn't have, like, you know how people go with a picture or something and they be like, oh, I want to look like this. I didn't have that, but I knew that I didn't want that because, but like, I don't like none of that, and to look like super extra. So I didn't want that. So the doctor that I was gonna do with was Natalie Bello. Something had happened with her, like around the time that I was getting my body done, like after that I paid my deposit and everything. And I was like, this gotta be a sign, like, no, I'm not going to her. So with my flight bought and everything, I had to look for a doctor that was available like during the time I was gonna be over there. So I went on this website that they have like with all doctors, and they have like reviews, and I found this doctor that I did my body with, and I saw that like everything was good with him. I was like, let's do it. He was available like about the time that I was gonna be over there. So I'm over there and everybody wants me to drink. Like, well, they was not forcing me, but it was like, you know, when you get to the R, like, tú quieres beber de una presidente, que sé cuánto. But so I was like, fuck. So the day before I was gonna get my body done, I had to go and do like the blood work. Like, even if you do it here, he still makes you do it over there again. So I had to go do that, and you gotta pay for that. Like, that's not included in the amount that you pay for your surgery. So I'm waiting for my results, and she comes out, the lady, and she's like, oh, you're gonna have to go to a specialist to look like deeper into your lungs because we found something. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, did you get COVID? I'm like, no. What? So he sent me to a specialist, and he told me like if the specialist didn't clear me to do it, that he was not gonna be able to do it. And I'm like, are you serious? So I don't want this video to be like super long, because I hate when videos are like super long and just be like, no, bye. But so I'm just gonna do a part 2.
A lot of folks ask me why I don't do BBLs. The truth is, you know, we weren't really sure for a long time, but it did seem to be a fairly dangerous operation. I have never, God help me, I've never lost a patient in my career, and I don't want to start now. I don't like to have to do touch-ups. I most certainly don't want a major complication. So I was avoiding that operation for quite some time. We now believe that we've gotten to the bottom of some of those issues, and it looks like under ultrasound guidance, maybe that is or can be performed safely. That said, I'm going to wait and sit back and watch and see what the numbers do, and see if folks really are having better luck, and if it really is a safer operation being performed under ultrasound guidance, and if the results are favorable. I must also add that a lot of times, in my opinion, BBLs can be overdone, and you know, to have a little more of a rump, a little bit more of a bump in your booty, I get it. Just sometimes I think they can be overdone, and it's just not an aesthetic that I ever found pleasing, so I didn't really pursue it that hard.
I know it's 3 in the morning on a Friday night, because I am still gonna post this right after I finish recording this, but this is my life, so I sleep all day and I'm up all night even if I don't go out. But I need advice, or someone to just tell me and give me a peace of mind or something. So I got my surgery 4 months ago. I got a really natural BBL. It's been fine. Recently, my ass has been hurting. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it feels like when you know when you sit too long and your ass feels kind of numb, that's what it feels like. Okay? But since it started feeling that way, I've noticed it's getting bigger. So like half of me is like, I should be concerned, and the other half is like, period, yes, fat deposit, settle where you need to settle, as you should, get bigger, yes, ass, do your thing. But I also don't know if I should still be feeling some type of pain. So I need advice or suggestions or whatever I need to do to get that pain away. Because if it's something serious, I'm taking my ass back to Atlanta, and she's gonna run me my money back or do something and make it better. So yeah. I know.
Ain't gonna hold you. I ain't really here for the girls coming online talking about how they got their surgeries because of insecurities and they let social media get to their head and shit like that. Because when we as the people tried to say that, we was broke as hell. We ain't had the money to get it. If we had the money to get it, we would have did it too. And that we need to shut the fuck up because y'all are wrong about the real reason we're getting these BBLs. Like I seen Lotto say, oh, my body was T. Like before I got my surgery, my body was T. Yes, your body been T, Lotto. I remember I seen a picture of you. You was on the tree. You had a swimsuit on. You saw your tattoo, everything. Your ass was fat then. I have no idea why you went out there. I think that was even before your BBL. I don't know why you went out and got your BBL. Crazy as hell. Jada West talking about she got her first cosmetic surgery at 18, 19. Baby, you're a little ass girl. You're a teenager. I don't understand why you feel like you need a fat ass and big ass titties at 18, 19. But when we try to say, oh, you know, that was a little crazy, that was a little crazy. We didn't say you looked horrible or nothing. We just said it was a little crazy. We got called broke. You feel me? Y'all, we was told to shut the fuck up because if we had the funds, we would do it too. But now the real reasons of why y'all getting these surgeries is coming out. And just like we supposed to feel that. But it's like we been saying that. We been knew the reason y'all was getting these BBS. We're not slow. No matter what type of story y'all tried to sell us, We knew the real reason. So I'm just saying, nothing that you're telling us is nothing we didn't already know.
Few facts that patients wish they would have known before they've had liposuction, or what y'all call liposuction and a BBL, is that liposuction is really a temporary fat buster. It's not permanent. It is not permanent. One, you've never learned to eat right. You thought that spending $5,000 to $10,000 on removing fat was going to fix your long-term history of overeating. One thing doesn't have anything to do with the other. Liposuction was just a method to remove some of that fat to debulk you. But in no shape, form, or how was it going to be able to control your bad eating habits that you've gained year after year. Liposuction is a gift and a curse. Yes, while it does give you a better shape, it takes fat away in areas that, one, you probably would not have lost the way you wanted to lose in those areas. Two, it targets fat. But the other thing is, now it makes you bulkier in areas that you didn't have fat before. Some of you guys grow extra breasts. Some of you get it under the arms. Some of you get heavier on the back. Some of you get the gift part and your butt grow a little, because you guys keep eating. You keep eating the same bad things you was eating before. I understand for those of you guys who have had a BBL, they tell you feed the fat. We don't feed the fat like that, you guys. Fried chicken, hamburgers. Already you have not learned how to eat good or better. And then you mean to tell me you gonna eat worse after surgery? Guess what? You're gonna lose those results. And a butt is just not having an ass, waist to hip. I always tell my patients, your butt is your stomach as well. So the bigger your stomach is, the smaller your butt is. The bigger your waist is, the smaller your butt is. The bigger your back is, the smaller your butt is. Guys have to control what goes in your mouth. There is no amount of money that you can spend on your body that is going to stop you from regaining that weight back. And I know people say once you've had liposuction, you don't regain weight in those same particular areas. You don't initially, but you eventually will. Once that back get enough fat and the arms start to grow, now the fat has no choice but to retarget and regrow on the areas that was already primarily taken away. So that's why you girls keep trying to go back and lay on the table versus maintaining your results, because initially you go into it thinking you've had liposuction and it is a fix-all, catch-all, be-all, and this is the rest of your life. You have a long time to go in that body, so the best way to do it is to maintain your results from your initial surgery. And if you're bigger, or you think that your surgeon did not liposuction enough, don't mentally block out your first surgery, because your second surgery should not be your first surgery. Some of y'all are gonna miss that. So when you have your second surgery, if you choose to, because you want to remove more fat, your surgeon shouldn't be removing what you've already taken away in the first round of surgery. Second surgery should actually be a cleanup job, not an initial job. That's why some of you guys, or a lot of you guys, are having such troubles when it's coming to having all of these multiple rounds of liposuction. Is that liposuction does not fix your bad habits of eating. The money you spend will not change your eating habit, and your eating habit will not change, not unless you change your eating habit, and you are regaining fat back in those spots, because most of you guys are still overeating between the first 90 days of your surgery. So of course it's gonna look like your surgeon didn't do his job. And the people who are around you, you know, the number one thing they saying is, she don't want to spend all that money on surgery and she don't even look like she had nothing done. That's because she ate her results back. You gotta stop eating.
So I have made an almost $8,000 mistake. Yeah, about 2 years ago I got my boobs done, and I have regretted it almost ever since. I mean, almost immediately after healing and whatnot, and whenever I saw myself, I knew deep down that I was not happy with what I did.
And I ran and got my BBL. The first couple of months after, that looked so good. I looked sense. You couldn't tell me right? what they don't tell you about BBLs is that the fat can die.
Mainty damn.
What do you mean?
What do you mean the fat dies?
Those are all fat cells.
Yeah.
Those fat cells, from being disturbed, from being moved, from being
spun
and all the
Taken
things that
out
they use
their
with it,
original environment.
they can die. Your body can reject it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not giving it the nutrients or whatever the it needs.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 months after this did my fat not die?
And what does that mean?
So it basically means you end up like peeing it out.
What?
But it's not like fat cells like that. Like you don't pee. Okay, so
No,
for example,
I know what you mean. It's like when you're losing weight.
right?
Yeah.
You do that, you pee it
yeah.
out, right? So like it just, I was
back to square one.
No way.
And you know why I was off? Because you know how dangerous a BBL is.
Yeah.
I've heard.
It is the most dangerous surgery.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Because the amount of arteries and veins and all that sort of stuff you have in your arse, right? At any point, they can nick an artery. If if fat goes into your artery, you're dead there, bum.
Yeah.
Because it's going straight to your heart. Because before this, I was like, oh yeah, do what you want, do what you want, do what you want. Don't do a BBL. Don't do it.
The cheeks you have now, your cheeks.
These are the cheeks that I had before I had my BBL.
No, you're mocking it. If
BBL,
this is your cheeks now, yeah. What did you
You
want?
took the piss.
I wanted
There's no
it.
way. Do you know what's so mad? I thought you went and done another BBL.
No, everyone says the
So
same
I thought-
thing. When I saw my hips come in, I was like, wait, this is what I was saying to my mum I wanted years ago, and it came through naturally after the BBL. It's dead and gone. That's what pissed me off, because I was like, nah, I really risked my life to look a certain way for no damn reason.